What's up YouTube, it's Alex and I'm back again for yet another video. So recently there has been some big Marvel news and, well, just Marvel stuff in general. Besides, Captain Marvel doing super well in the box offices. I think they scored past $1 million or possibly $1 billion. I can't remember exactly how much it was, but it was. I think it was actually $100 million that they went past, and everyone was just completely freaking out because they're like, "Oh my God, it did so well!" But of course it's gonna do well. But I will be doing a later video about just my review on Captain Marvel. How did I think it was as a movie and everything that you might have missed. But about last Thursday, there was even more Marvel news. Marvel finally released the second Avengers Endgame trailer. And so you know what? I was like, I'm just gonna make a video and we're gonna break it down. And so that is what today's video will be all about, is everything that you might have missed in the Avengers Endgame trailer number 2. So last time we saw everyone, they were, all looking like they were about to go off to fight somebody, and probably Thanos. It is rumored and said that Kevin Feige has stated that everything that we are seeing in the trailers will only be in the first about 20 minutes of the film. So that means, all these new things that we're seeing and everyone going off to go fight somebody, it's all going to happen in the first 20 minutes. And so what are we going to sit there and do for the other 2 hours and 40 minutes? Just watch a blank screen? I know that was actually in a movie. It was in the 2001 A Space Odyssey. Apparently it started off with just a blank screen and sat there for a good 10 minutes with just a blank screen. So maybe that's what we're going to see in Avengers Endgame. But, I hope not. This trailer first off starts with a voiceover of Tony saying, "Gosh, seems like 1,000 years ago, I fought my way out of the cave, became Iron Man. Then I said I loved you. I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one." While this is actually going on, while he's actually saying this, you see in the background, they're playing it in black and white of scenes from the first Iron Man movie, then scenes from the third Iron Man movie. The first scene that you see is actually right after Tony breaks out of the cave and, crashes in the desert, and right before he goes and starts walking and, hoping that someone's going to find him. We also see the scene where Pepper holds the Iron Man mask up to her head right before she realizes that there's a message in Iron Man 3. Maybe it's foreshadowing, saying that will almost exactly happen in Avengers Endgame, and that is how Pepper will know that Tony is in trouble, since, he is leaving Pepper a message in the first trailer of, "Pepper, I'm dying, and food and water is about to run out." So maybe that is hinting at that she will finally, see the message, and she will kind of have someone sent out to go help them. Or, it has been stated that he is taking Nebula apart, and Nebula is putting herself into the ship to, help them get back. But, who honestly knows? But the quote that was said of the "gosh, seems like 1,000 years ago," it could possibly be in Tony's message that he is leaving for Pepper with that, makeshift helmet. I don't even know. I still want to know where he got the parts for it. I want to know, did he just randomly sit there and, while on Titan, sat there and just picked up every little piece of it and was like, "I'm just going to somehow glue this all back together and make it all new." Then we see Tony is trapped with Nebula, where he is possibly dying, and having Nebula take herself apart by sitting there, with her robotic, I think it's her left robotic arm, sitting there taken apart. If you guys actually notice, almost everything that happens to anyone is always through their left hand. Bucky loses his left arm. There's so many other things that I noticed that was left-handed stuff, but I tried looking up if Stanley was left-handed, but the online would not tell me if he was left-handed or not. If you guys know if he is left-handed, leave it in the comments down below, and I will kind of say that in my next video that if he is left-handed or not. But it's okay if you don't know it. But so we see her sitting there taking apart her arm, putting it into the ship, and trying to repair it, and also Tony's sitting there, trying to repair it too. Because they are almost out of oxygen and they are completely out of food and water. So of course they want to get out of that ship and get to somewhere. It's said that this is a callback to the scene of Tony actually escaping from the cave in the first Iron Man movie. I don't really know. It's said that apparently all the scenes in the first 20 minutes of the movie will be a callback to the first Iron Man movie of him in the cave. I kind of feel like the whole movie will be a callback to the original Avengers, and kind of showing how they've come so far from where they began to who they are now. With Captain America, he started off as a scrawny guy and then he became a very muscular guy. So that's what I kind of feel like is going to be happening. Is just going to be a lot of throwbacks to it of just different things of kind of him being when you see his shaking hand, of him kind of being the scrawny kid wanting to fight back, but he's too weak to fight back, and then something's going to happen and he's going to get the power to fight back. I don't know. I just feel like this whole movie is gonna be depressing because the original Avengers are completely done after this movie, so there's gonna be many tears shed, so it's gonna be depressing, but it's okay. It's okay. Then we go to a scene of Captain America where he is at the recruitment center in the first Captain America movie. When I cannot remember his name. I want to say it's I don't even know. I want to say it's Aslan or something like that. When he kind of brings him in and is finally gives him the stamp of yes, you are approved now. That's where they show it, and then they also show the scene where he's stepping onto the platform to kind of make it look like he's a soldier, but he's a little too short to be a soldier. But then while we are seeing this, there's a voiceover of a British woman. It is undeclared. People are saying that it might be Peggy Carter. Other people are arguing it's not Peggy Carter, but I want to say it is going to be Peggy because what other British person has been introduced in the MCU other than Peggy? But I don't know. There's so many arguments about it. But whoever's saying it, they say the world has changed. None of us can cope well. While the second sentence is said, we go back to seeing the post-decimation of New York. Apparently, that's what the snap is called, is the decimation. Because, everyone's just devastated. I don't know why they called it decimation. It's kind of a stupid name, but, it's okay. But we see the scene that we keep seeing of, right near the Statue of Liberty with all the boats around it. And, because everyone kind of wants to go to New York, I guess. I don't know why. Then we jumped from that scene to the first, to where we saw Steve in the first trailer of him at the counseling group or morning group. I don't know what it is. I want to say it's a counseling group for it said that someone was saying that it might be a counseling group for post war vets, which Steve definitely is, because he fought in World War II and has been fighting as a superhero for the past don't even know how long, 100 years, because I want to say 100 now. In Civil War, that him and Bucky are now 100. But it's okay. Then we hear him say, "Some move on." well, I'm sorry, he doesn't say that yet. That's where the counseling group is when he's saying the "some move on" quote from the first trailer. Then we get a shot of Hawkeye standing with a girl. It said that it possibly is going to be his daughter. Uh, but it's also said that the girl who plays Hannah Baker in 13 Reasons Why will be playing his daughter, but you don't really see anyone else kind of with Hawkeye, so I'm kind of doubting that it's her. But you see her shooting a bow and arrow. She makes a perfect. I think she gets a perfect bullseye in it, and so it said that this is pre-snap because he doesn't have his stupid haircut that he has now. I've been hearing so many arguments that everyone doesn't like his haircut, that it's completely stupid. I also saw a meme to combat this of why is his hair so stupid now, of that in the snap, instead of killing him, it just killed the sides of his hair and left the mop of hair on top. And his weird, mohawk at times, but not really mohawk. I don't know. It's weird. I don't really like it. But it said that that the haircut is because his wife cut his hair. I guess. I guess you see it in the second Avengers movie of her sitting there like cutting his hair or something like that. I didn't think you did, but I haven't actually gone and rewatched the second movie yet to kind of prove it wrong, right or wrong. But it said that it's that because his wife's not there anymore because she was snapped away. That he's kind of like, I don't know how to cut my hair. Let me just cut all this off. I don't know. That would be kind of sad if you don't really know how to cut your hair very well and you just like, best solution, just cut it all off and just leave the top. But then we hear the British woman saying again, all we can do is our best. In this quote, during this quote, I think this is right around, like, right before you see Black Widow and Hawkeye in Japan, because apparently we are going to Japan. But in this quote, if you really listen to it, you can kind of tell that it doesn't really sound like Peggy all that much, or if it is, it's a very much older Peggy, kind of like when we last saw her in Civil War right before she died. Oh, well, I lied. I don't think you see her in Civil War. So right in Winter Soldier when you see her, I want to say that has to be like the time frame of when you see her. Well, when she says this quote, because she kind of sounds a little older, but I don't know. Then we jump to the Hawkeye and Hawkeye in Japan in his Ronin costume, but it's not the full costume because there's apparently a mask. I don't know. I feel like his new suit's not going to be like comic book accurate, but like they're going to do their best, but they're going to fail as they have with like every other character. Like no one else really looks like what their comic book counterpart looks like. Then we hear the British woman saying again, sometimes the best thing we can do is start over. While this quote is said, you can see Black Widow grabbing Hawkeye's hand in comfort. That's possibly to calm him down of like, you don't really need to, because he went off to Japan and it said that he's fighting the Yakuza. I don't know what that is really. I think it's like some weird organization. But he went off to like go kill them all, and so it's probably kind of like, it's okay, you don't need to go off killing a lot of people because your wife and kids died, so it's okay, you can calm down now. But I feel like the reason why, like, because people were saying like, why did she go to Japan? How does she know that he's there? I kind of feel like that was like the last known place that they had seen him was Japan. And also that, and like why, how does Black Widow possibly know about his family being killed? I feel like it kind of was on the monitors of when you see Spider-Man, Scott Lang, and Shuri on the thing, saying that they were missing. I kind of feel like they popped up and was kind of like they're kind of missing and, you know, not here anymore. Uh, so that's what I kind of feel like is going on. And that they kind of saw that his family was gone, so she was like, "Oh, I gotta, calm him down. Maybe give a little. The sun's going down real low, big guy. I don't know." Then we see a scene from Civil War where Steve is carrying Peggy's casket. Right after he gets a text message of that she had passed away in her sleep. And then we go to a shot from Thor. Of Asgard, and if you look very closely, you can see on the flags they are all red. And if you also look at almost all the shots that are in black and white, there's one element in them that is completely red, and it's bright red to kind of stand out. Apparently, it's to like to. It said that it's a calling to. I can't remember what movie it is, but apparently the whole movie was in black and white, and there was just a little girl in it, and she was the only color in it, and she had a red jacket on. I cannot remember for the life of me what it actually is called. It's something's list. If you know what it is, and you're just mad that I don't know what it is, leave it in the comments down below, and yell at me because I don't know what it is. But in the scene that we jump to a scene where we see Thor with Odin, like right at the end of Thor 1, when he's sitting there talking to him and saying like, "Oh, one son wanted it too much," and stuff like that. Apparently in that scene, I heard rumors that apparently Chris Hemsworth had dyed his eyebrows. Perfectly blonde so that like it would match his hair, I guess. I don't know, it sounded very, very weird, and then I really, really wanted to go watch it again, and I think I did see that his eyebrows are blonde in some parts, and others they are not. I found it just very, very bizarre. And then we jump to right around, I'm thinking it's Infinity War, like right before he throws the axe at Thanos and hits him in the chest instead of the head, but it's okay. Then we watch all the heroes die again that are actually on Earth. We don't see Peter Quill, Spider-Man, or anyone that was on Titan. We only strictly see everyone who was in Wakanda who are dying. But I don't really know what's up with that. Like, I don't know. It might have something to do with the voiceover that Thor says. He says, "I saw all these people die." Yeah, dude, we saw them all die too, and we all sat there and cried while Tom Holland said, "Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good," which was not even in the original script, and thought, I just feel like I should make everyone cry a little bit more. They're not crying enough while we watch everyone die. But we could kind of see that he's actually thinking about that he should have gone for that, or, I have heard the rumor that he should have gone for the hand. That he should have chopped off Thanos' left arm or left hand so that he couldn't actually complete the snap. I feel like he would have just, did the kind of trick that he did to Gamora and was kind of like, "Oh, reality can be whatever I want now." And just use the reality stone for that. I still don't understand why he didn't use the reality stone when Thor threw the thing at him and just didn't sit there and be like, "Haha, it's not really me. It's a vision of me. I'm Lokiing you." Like, I don't know. I feel like he should have done that, and then, he wouldn't have a damaged chest now, but, it's okay. Maybe that's going to come into play in Endgame, and they're going to sit there and be like, "Haha, you're wounded. Let's use that against you." I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's just I don't know. And then we hear Steve say, "I keep telling everybody they should move on. Some do, but not us." While he's saying this, we see that he is actually saying this to Black Widow, and it is clearly shown that there is a time jump because, she has long hair. And, the blonde is kind of at the end of her hair and not really seen. Also, in other parts of the trailer, you can definitely tell there's a time jump. I want to know if there's going to be multiple time jumps or if there's going to just be one time jump and that's completely it. And they're like, okay, we jumped like a year or two into the future or whatever. Or I think I heard possibly 5 years was the max. I say that would be okay if they jumped 5 years in the max into the future at max, because then after that you just have too many questions then of what's going on with the Earth in those 10 like if it's 10 years, like what's going on in those 10 years to the Earth. I don't know. It just raises too many questions. But yeah, we can see that the blonde is almost completely out of her hair at that scene when they're just sitting there, lazing around. Yeah, I love doing that. That's so much fun, just lazing around, being like, well, half of the world disappeared, but it's my lazy day today. Then we see Scott Lang. It's unclear where or when he is, because it definitely takes place after the snap has happened, because the scene that you see him, you see all these missing posters on a lamppost. So clearly the snap has happened, and people are like, oh my god, what happened to my relative? They are missing. Oh, but there's a pile of ash. I don't know what that means. It's okay. But also, if you look at it, he's not in his Ant-Man suit. He is in normal civilian clothes. I want to know, how did he just randomly get civilian clothes? Because, where he went into the quantum realm was not at all near his house. I was hearing that possibly he came out near his house, and he just decided to go into his house and go get civilian clothes, but, dude, how are you not seeing, all these ashes on the ground? The worst part would be if he did end up at his house, and he went in, and he saw ashes in his house. That would be just devastating because you could kind of think of who it is, that it could possibly be his daughter, and it could possibly be his ex-wife and his wife's new husband, the cop. That would just be devastating if that was the case. But why would you sit there and still be like, yeah, I'm just gonna change into my normal civilian clothes, because it's just a normal day. Then we hear Black Widow say, even if there's a small chance, we owe this. Then at that scene, we see the Quinjet, and in the background, we see Tokyo, or what possibly is Tokyo, or somewhere in Japan. Then we see Widow and Hawkeye on the Quinjet, and Widow says, to everyone who is not in this room to try. Then we see Clint is running in what looks like to be the sewers. Then he shoots an arrow back and explosion. Bro, yeah, did you not hear the rumor? Apparently, if you set a fire in the sewers, it will explode. I don't know. I randomly heard this rumor from somebody that if you light a match in the sewer, it will just explode because of all the feces and the gases in there. It will just explode. I don't know if that's true or not. I really want to just know if it is or not. If you do honestly know if it is, leave it in the comments down below and tell me. And then we see Rocket in his comic book accurate costume. He is standing on the shoulders of what looks to be War Machine's new suit, an upgraded version, but not. So it looks like Rhodey will be getting 2 upgrades in this movie. One, I don't know, they look a little beefier, I would say. I guess I don't know if that's the right word, but a little beefier because they look a little more muscular. I don't really know how to describe it. But yeah, then we hear Steve say, "We will," and it looks as if he might be talking to Clint, who now still has his weird haircut and is possibly crying over his dead family. Because if you look at him, he does have tears in his eyes, and probably is due to that his family is dead. Yeah, that's just so depressing because so many people's families died in this movie. Then we see Scott in the Ant-Man suit, and then we hear Steve say, "Whatever it takes." Then we see Thor with the Stormbreaker, looking like he's about to attack someone. This also possibly could be from Avengers Infinity War again, and they're just, trying to make it look like they have new footage, but they just are joking with us. And they don't want to show us anything. Then we also see Nebula with possibly a new arm. Maybe Tony, possibly they stopped back at Earth, and he kind of was like, "Hey, since you gave your arm up to help get me back here, let me make you a new arm," and all that jazziness. But then she kind of has like, I don't know what to call them, like weird sticks. I don't know what to really call them. It's the things that she had in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, right at the final battle scene. That's what she has in her hands, and looks like she's about to attack someone. The background is rumored to possibly be either Titan or it is Titan 2, but I kind of feel like it might be more likely Titan 2, because why would you leave a planet and then that you almost died on and then be like, what's a good idea? Let me just go back to this said planet that I almost died on. It's going to be okay. But so then we go back to Clint in the sewers. People are saying that the thing on his right hand possibly could be the teleport devices that we've all seen in the leaked photos. That kind of were that all the other Avengers were wearing, that went back to the Battle of New York in the first Avengers movie. I don't really think so. If you really, really look at it, it looks like it's just a flashlight. But I know so many people are so gung-ho about it, no, it's totally the teleport device. People, I really don't think so. Go look at it again. It really looks like a flashlight. Just that, so he could, see in the sewers. Though, he does have that red light, like, in the air, so, I don't know. I don't know, it's just weird. Then we hear someone saying, "Whatever it takes." This is possibly Steve again, since, he likes to say things repeatedly. Like, not us. Like, he said the, 3 times in the trailer. In the first trailer. I don't really know if it is him, because, I don't know, it could possibly be Tony. It doesn't really sound like it could be Thor. Maybe it's Clint. I don't really know. I kind of hope it's somebody else. And then we get a shot of Widow doing the shooting gallery in which supposedly the Avengers training, headquarters now. That's up in upstate New York. But then we also see Steve with his shield that we've seen in the other trailer of him sitting there with shaky hand tightening it. And as this is happening, we hear Widow say, "Whatever it takes." So basically that's kind of like their war cry, I'm guessing. But then we also see with Steve with the shield, we kind of see a little bit more. We actually see his face this time, and his face looks pretty grimy. But also, if you look in the background where he is, it kind of looks like he's exactly at the same place that Nebula is at. And, possibly this is the final battle. But it also is said that Kevin Feige has come out and said no, that this will be in the first 20 minutes. So maybe they're going to go fight Thanos in the first 20 minutes and then kind of be like, oh, yeah, we got to go back in time and possibly stop him and get all the stones. I don't know. All honesty. Then we see a scene with Ant-Man being, the size of an ant. It looks like he is possibly on a in the background. You kind of see a purplish light. I'm thinking it could possibly be Thanos' arm. I don't really know, but it also is. You can also see the eraser part of a pencil, and you can also supposedly see the headphone, like the part of the headphone where you actually put it into whatever you're listening to. That's said to possibly be the headphones of Peter Quill, but who wants that just randomly? But it's okay if you just randomly want his headphones. Good for you. Then we see Tony in the green light again that we saw from the first one when he was sitting there first making a speech to Pepper saying that he was dying. And we hear him say, "Whatever it takes." So kind of possibly not him the other time. It possibly is Steve. Then we do see Steve in his quantum realm suit, and then we also see the others in the said quantum realm suits, in the white suits that we've all seen on the toys that have been everywhere now, but the U.S. Then behind him we see Nebula, Scott, Clint, Rhodey, in an even newer War Machine suit because it is completely white. Then we see Tony not in an Iron Man suit, just in a Quantum Realm suit, and just nothing. So maybe he's like, I'm not going to use an armor to battle Thanos. I want to go face to face with him, just completely with nothing to protect myself except for the suit. And then we see that Nebula is kind of walking right beside Tony. It's kind of hard to kind of say where they all are lined up, but they all are in their Quantum Realm suits. But if you notice, I'm pretty sure that Bruce Banner was in the first trailer in just walking with them. If you look at it, he is not there. Also, they are kind of missing, I think they were missing Rocket and also Captain Marvel. So, yeah. So then, it's also said that the reason why you don't see Bruce in this is that they're kind of hiding that Professor Hulk will be making an appearance in this, and that he will be suiting up in a Quantum Realm suit. We have seen the toys that have been leaked, and he is in a Quantum Realm suit, so maybe that's kind of who they're missing and why they are not showing Captain Marvel with them. I can kind of not see Carol wearing one of the white suits. I kind of just see her sticking with her red and blue suit. That'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't really like to see her in a white suit. I don't know. I don't really like the white suits on some of the characters, but others I'm okay with it. But then we see the rocks coming together to form the A, and then we see Avengers Endgame across the screen, and the original Avengers theme song starts playing of da 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 from the very first Avengers movie. Oh, that was so exciting. I was so happy about that because so much nostalgia, even though it's only been a few years. Then right after it, you see Thor in his civilian clothes that we saw him in the first trailer, when he was sitting there looking all depressed, walking, and then we see him walking up to Carol, who is also in normal civilian clothes now. If you guys haven't seen Captain Marvel, I'm going to ruin the ending credit scene. You see her come in and say, "Where is Fury?" I'm sorry if you haven't seen it, but you might want to go see it because it's pretty good. Even though I just spoiled the one of the post-credit scenes, but it's okay. It's okay. That's why I'm not releasing the review of Captain Marvel the movie yet. So all you guys can go see it. Then we see Thor raises his hand up to summon Stormbreaker, kind of in the way that Mjolnir would be summoned by just raising his hand up, and she would come flying to him. I like it how people are saying she, but it is technically an it because it's not really a female. but people are saying that it's to. Some people are saying it's to intimidate her, and that's kind of why he's like, I like her. It also is said that he is trying to see if it secretly is Loki, just pretending to be a superhero, and actually is still alive. And kind of did in in Thor Ragnarok, of how he sat there with Loki was pretending to be Odin, and sat there and put it in his hand behind his neck so that it would kill him if he didn't show his true colors. That's what it's said to be trying to do, see if it's Loki or not. But then Thor says, I like this one. And you see who he actually is saying it to. He is saying to Black Widow. This scene, I am pretty sure, will most likely take place right after probably within like a day or two of the Captain Marvel post-credit scene. Because I don't know, it just seems like it would be too weird if they had like a really big time gap of him sitting there being like, I'm gonna intimidate you now. But yeah. But yeah, that is the whole trailer. If you think I missed something that was like, oh my god, how could you have missed this? It was so big and it was right there in front of your face. Leave it down in the comments down below, and I'll probably say something about it in another video. Because probably missed so much stuff. I've been trying to watch all these videos of the little things that you missed in the trailer, but I'm not really seeing all these things that I missed in the trailer. But it's okay. But yeah. Apparently it's said that a lot of this trailer also was just repeats of what was already seen in other trailers. But yeah, I think it's just because Marvel has said that they can't really release that much footage. But yeah. So I'm super hyped about this movie. It will be coming out on April 26th. I think I have on my countdown that I have going on. It's like 39 days or something like that, roughly around there. I am so excited about it. I cannot wait. But yeah, so like I said earlier in the video, I will be doing a Captain Marvel review, saying everything that you possibly have missed in the movie and just everything that went down in the movie and how did I feel about it? Did I like it? Did I not? But yeah, so I will, and of course, if any Marvel news comes up of like, oh my god, this is so big, it's insane, I'll do another video for you guys. But yeah, other than that, I will catch you guys on the next video. See ya.